Greetings all you maniacs of Minds on Crimes, and today I want to talk about Warframe's next update, the Heart of Deimos, and my predictions. So the main thing I kind of want to talk about is the fact that we are going to be getting our own custom mech suits. That's pretty cool, right? I'm not really one for mechs, but I had an idea, and I'm not the first person to have this idea. Imagine Mech PVP. Now, PvP in Warframe is a huge meme. It's super unbalanced, not fun. The Conclave is dead. There's no one doing it. But what's cool about doing it with mechs and not Warframes is the mechs I know are not going to be as agile as Warframes. They are not going to have the overpowered abilities. I mean, we'll wait and see what they have. So, I imagine with the mechs, it's going to be a lot like other games that have vehicles and other things like that. Oh, this vehicle is really fast, it has less armor, and maybe a little bit less firepower. This mech is super duper slow, but is an absolute tank and has heavy weapons, and everything in between. So this would balance things out pretty well. I could imagine you could have up to 3 different custom mechs or 3 different mech configurations, so you could have a light, heavy, and a intermediate. So everyone would be like, okay, I need to use this mech right now for this match, or I want to use this mech right now after I die and respawn. That would be super freaking cool, especially if the weapons and everything is balanced out. It is a lot. Now, the amount of weapons that the mechs are going to have, I don't know how many weapons they're going to have. I assume you're going to have a primary, a secondary, and maybe a melee, and that's it. So that would be very, very cool if they can balance things out. Say, like, if a weapon has a high rate of fire, each bullet doesn't do a lot of damage, but it has a high rate of fire. Say you can use certain mods, but you're not like allowed to use elemental mods or everything, because elementals would probably destroy everything. It would really just come down to how well DE would balance everything out. In my honest opinion, if they do Mech PvP right, and this isn't confirmed, I just have to preface this, we are not getting Mech PvP anytime soon. But if it is well balanced, and if it's fun with a lot of different game types, including very random wacky game types, that is sustainable content, because PvP is one of the things that will keep a game alive for years. Look at Halo 1 on the PC, the original Halo 1, Halo Custom Edition. The servers are still up. Why? Because PvP and custom games. Even though Halo 1's combat isn't the greatest. It's very just like, oh, you have the pistol, you win. If you don't have the pistol, you lose. That's just how it is. Except for when it comes to custom weapons and everything can be rebalanced. But you get my point. Games last for a very long time if they have a very strong PvP aspect. Warframe has been around for a very long time without a strong PvP aspect, which is cool. Also, a thing with these mechs, apparently you're going to be able to, plop them out whenever the hell you want in open world stuff, which would be interesting. Although, it would be kind of cool to use these in normal missions, but I think they're going to be kind of large, so I can understand why you wouldn't be able to do that, because you wouldn't be able to go anywhere. The game is not designed for these giant mechs to be on these normal tile sets. It's designed for Warframes that are like, what, average human height? Anyway. My hopes for Mech PvP is definitely game types anyway. Team deathmatch is obvious, free for all, obvious. Now, how many people in a game, I don't know, do something like Halo does, where you have a normal 4v4 and then an 8v8 setting and a 12-player free for all? I think that could work pretty well. Also, they would have to get the netcode down. Warframe's netcode seems to be honestly not horrible, but I have not played PvP, so I I don't know how well it works. The netcode, at least. There could be King of the Hill. There could be a game mode where you have to hold something for the most amount of time, kind of like Oddball and Halo. You know, melee only, secondary only, primary only. Now, what would you get rewarded for all of this? I know that's a huge thing with Warframe. What are the rewards for this game type? I don't fucking know. Packs of vaulted relics eventually. Maybe you'll get standing and then you could buy certain things. I don't know. There could be a whole lot of different things. You can get like mech cosmetics. You could get different signed Donnas. You know, whatever you can think of. I think it would be fine enough. But the real thing that would make Mech PVP good or forgotten is how well it plays. How well is it balanced and all of that. Like what I said at the beginning. You would have fast mechs that are really fast. They don't have the greatest amount of firepower or armor, but they're fast and maneuverable and a pain in the ass to deal with. You have intermediate mechs that are, you know, they're fast, they're tough enough. They have, you know, jack of all trades mechs. And then you have tank mechs where they're just super tanky, heavy firepower, but are really slow. I think that would be perfectly fine. Because a fast mech might be able to, you know, do circles around a heavy mech, but if that mech gets one shot on it, that tiny mech gets hit once, it's gone. Or something like that. So, the reason I'm bringing this up is because there used to be a game that was really good called RoboCraft. I've actually played it on the channel before. And that's how the game was balanced. It really just depended on your creativity for what kind of mech you would make, but everything had a trade-off. Say you wanted to make a really powerful robot with a lot of firepower. Well, you're going to be super tanky, but you also might be pretty dang slow. And also there were restrictions on the max amount of, you know, parts or power that you would have on your mech. Or you wouldn't really be able to do normal PvP. So that could also work. Or you could be a piece of shit and have the tiniest mech ever with the most damage ever and snipe people from a long distance. I hope that's not a thing in PvP in Warframe with mechs. Although it probably will. There will probably be a sniper-like weapon. Maybe like a charged railgun for a sniper rifle. That'd be fair because you would have to charge it. And it might do a heavy amount of damage, but just like the Spartan laser in Halo, it's got to cool down, and you only get one shot while it cools down. But it would wreck basically everything. So, what I'm basically getting at, if DE really does make Mech PvP fun, engaging, balanced, and just, well, fun, then it is going to be such a good addition for the game. Because, you know, having good PvE stuff is fine. The core gameplay of Warframe is very fun. That's why I keep playing it. Also, I love Disruption. But, you know, it would be kind of cool to have PvP because then it would just be like, okay, PvP is always going to be populated. There's always going to be players that are going to be wanting to do PvP. And, you know, it would incentivize people, try all the different mech combinations, you know, just try absolutely everything. And my hope with mechs is that once you build one, you can swap in and out weapons and different, you know, parts on it and configure it however you want. That's probably what's going to happen, because having to make a mech base again and again and again would be tiring and bullshit. I know for a fact you're going to be able to swap weapons out and different, maybe like power cores and shit. So that's probably going to be more impactful than the actual like chassis of the mech, depending on how everything is. Just like Railjack. Railjack PvP would also be kind of interesting, but it would just probably divulge into normal Warframe versus Warframe PvP, and that's not good. But yeah, that's just my thoughts on how PvP and Warframe with mechs could work, where you have different classes of mechs, you have, you know, all your different abilities. I know there's probably going to be healing abilities, which would be really cool. Having a team support mech would be honestly, you know, perfect. You'd be a big fucking target, though. You'd be able to heal your team, but you will be public enemy number 1. So, yeah, kill the healers first. That's basically how it goes when there's healers in a PvP game. Same thing with snipers. They're a pain in the ass. But it will be so good if they get it right. And if they don't get it right on the first try, they can always just hotfix it. They could, of course, do betas, multiple betas to make sure it's perfect. And all that stuff. And maybe even you wouldn't not really even need to use your own mech. You could use like pre-made mechs. That'd be cool for those that don't really have, say, a tank mech or a fast mech. So, yeah, that's all I basically have to say about it. This isn't confirmed. I'm just spitballing. I'm just speculating. PvP with mechs in Warframe would be sweet if they get it right. And I'm pretty sure it would be up to the partner, not partner, Jesus, why did I say partners? The people that are on the TTS. Eventually, if this ever does come to fruition, they would be the ones calling the shots on what is balanced and what is unbalanced. So, yeah, it would be cool. It'd be so freaking cool. Imagine sword clashing with another mech, going full speed, full thrusters ahead, and just clashing with each other. That would be awesome. Like flying, maybe not flying around, but like jumping around and swinging melee weapons at each other. That'd be so cool. Anyway, let me know what you guys think about PvP with mechs in Warframe. I think, if done right, it would be an absolutely fantastic addition to Warframe. It would just, PvP would be awesome to have in this game. We'll just have to wait and see how the mechs are, and wait to see if this actually comes to fruition. I kind of have a feeling that DE might try PvP. They might. With mechs, at least. So, yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. And remember, in Trilby, we trust.